If you're thinking of buying a home and you're saying, I'm going to wait until interest rates fall, be careful, because that's going to likely cost you more in purchase price and more in down payment and not save you anything per month. Hey everybody, it's John King with Summit Funding. It is Friday the 15th of September and I'm here with my weekly market update. So thank you for joining me. This week I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about the market and where it is right now. Specifically, the Fed is meeting next week. What are they thinking? I don't really know, but I'll tell you what I'm guessing they're thinking. And then I want to talk a little bit about what that means big picture for people's decision making. And I'm seeing and feeling a shift in home buyer sentiment. The Federal Reserve is meeting next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. They're going to be announcing on Wednesday whether they're going to be increasing interest rates. Now, I'm going to guess my hit ratio is like, I don't know, 50-50 on whether I guess right or wrong. The truth is, the Fed tries to project what they're going to do, but they're not going to say for certain, with any certainty, what the actual outcome is going to be of their meeting until the end of their meeting. They're announcing on Wednesday whether they're going to raise interest rates. Everybody expects there to be no increase in interest rates this month. So the worry is if the Fed says, first of all, if they raise interest rates, that's really, really bad news. But more importantly, if the Fed says what their future projections look like, and the worry is that they're going to say that they're going to keep interest rates higher longer. We're not in such a mood of or concern of interest rates going up more. We're more concerned about when are they going to start lowering rates? And that's really what the shift in the mortgage market and in the economy. We're watching the tea leaves with the Fed and saying, hey, how long are you going to keep rates high? And here's what they're worried about. You've heard me say it many, many times. They're worried about what's called entrenched inflation, which means that inflation stays here for a really long time like it did in the 1970s. I was showing somebody yesterday mortgage rates going back to 1972. And we saw interest rates, they were ranging between 7 and 10% in the late 70s. And then in 1980, they spiked up to 16%. And 2 months later, they came back down and they were pushing 10 or 11%. And that was not good enough to get rid of inflation. And a year later in 1981, they had to spike interest rates up to 19.5%. So the pain was greater because they didn't maintain the interest rates high enough, long enough. And I believe the Fed is committed to not making that mistake. Now, they might make other mistakes, but they're committed to not making that mistake. And so they're going to keep interest rates higher longer. How much longer? I'm thinking we're looking at summer to late of next year. So, election cycle, November of 2024, certainly isn't coincidental that ties into when I think interest rates really are going to start falling. But the Fed is going to keep interest rates higher longer. And what they tell us next Wednesday is going to be a big deal in us projecting what they're thinking. Speaking of projecting what they're thinking, I got to tell you, I'm seeing a lot of my clients who had talked to me a year or two ago about buying a home and decided to hold off because interest rates were going up. They're coming back. And they're coming back in large numbers. And I started thinking and asking, hey, why? What are these people doing now? Rates are higher than where they were a year ago. And the truth is, because human nature, somebody wants something and they say, yeah, but I don't want it that bad. So they want to buy a home, but they don't want to pay that high of an interest rate because they felt like the rate bump was temporary. Now that they've realized it's not temporary, they don't want to miss out on the opportunity to take advantage of home ownership. And here's the truth. I firmly believe that if you wait, it will cost you more. And a lot of my clients are sensing that. People are getting to accept that interest rates are in the 7% range. I'm actually getting very little pushback. A year ago, I got a lot of pushback with people saying, what do you mean they're at 5 or 6%? Now it's like, oh yeah, 7, that's normal. So it's become normal. Now that's a worry for the Fed because that's where inflation becomes, hey, I'm used to paying so much more for eggs and for gasoline, and people just expect it, and now they expect a pay raise from their employer to pay for all of that stuff being more expensive. So it's kind of a death spiral. It's kind of a fear of expecting things to be more expensive is a bad thing. But when it comes to housing, that's actually going to lead to house prices going up. And so we've got to look at what is your missed opportunity. If you're thinking of buying a home and you're saying, I'm going to wait until interest rates fall, be careful, because that's going to likely cost you more in purchase price and more in down payment and not save you anything per month. Matter of fact, I had a client the other day. We were talking about a special down payment assistance program called Dream for All that you've heard me talk about a lot. And he said, John, should I wait for Dream for All? Or should I buy a home with this builder that has a 5% interest rate? Because I think I'm better off. The builder's offering me a super low interest rate. And I ran the numbers, and you know what? The payment was identical. Whether they got the Dream for All money or whether they got the 5% interest rate from the builder, they thought it would be cheaper at a 5% interest rate. And it isn't. So just be careful what you think is true and investigate. Dig into the numbers and allow me to help you figure out what your options are. Then at least when you have the real numbers, then you can make a decision with good information. Making a decision based on simple emotion and only emotion can lead to poor decisions, and it can lead to regret. So I want to help you not regret making bad decisions. Therefore, please give me a call. Help refer your friends to me so that I can help them run numbers and figure out what the right decision is for you so that you don't regret doing or not doing what you really should have done. Thanks so much for listening. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.